We're now going to focus on a very interesting sector where there is no entry barrier for you to participate. Everyone can be an expert on housing. And in housing, we'll focus on the very niche segment which has become so prominent in the last 3 years, luxury residential real estate. I was just looking at some stats for the first few months of 2025. There were more houses sold in the ticket price of 2.5 crores and above than in the ticket price of less than 75 lakhs. Now you can call it interesting, fascinating, or disturbing at the same time. We all know that that clearly means there is lesser developer participation happening in affordable and budget housing segment. But that's a separate topic. What's important for us to note is that luxury and premium housing has really picked up across the country. Also, very interesting that fifth year into the residential growth story and the first 3 months, sales in luxury have gone up by 50% compared to the first few months of 2024. So it's a phenomenal market right now. High premiums, high margins. So more and more developers want to participate. You have a large presence in residential, commercial, tier 1, tier 2 cities. How do you think the landscape for luxury is evolving? What sort of changes you're seeing at the back end which are contributing to this growth?
Luxury residency is something we started our complete company with in Noida itself with Forest Spa in Sector 93B. So probably the pioneers of luxury real estate, especially in residential, has been us. And it's great to see how the whole evolution of real estate per se has been from luxury to affordable to mid-segment, and now again the boom has come into the luxury space all across geographies. I would say not just the Delhi NCR, but pretty much everywhere that we have witnessed. Everybody is looking for larger unit sizes. Everybody, especially post-COVID, the whole lifestyle has changed. Everybody is forced to think about what if this happens again? And if this does happen again, people don't want to be hooked up in small spaces. So everybody is trying to spend the last penny in their pockets and trying to buy and afford something bigger and better. And with that, of course, the economy has grown enough and the disposable income at hand has increased so much enough that the luxury lifestyle has come into play. I believe post-COVID, the maximum number of BMW cars have been bought in 2022, 2023, and every year that has been increasing. And we've been thinking, when will this whole thing stop? You know, that has been the biggest bet. I think a lot of people like Gulshan, who had bet for a real estate luxury product in Noida. At that point of time, nobody was betting onto luxury. And they have probably reaped the biggest benefit out of there. And similarly, the whole lifestyle is growing pretty much everywhere. So we're here to understand that. We are here to see where it's going and what, as a developer, we can do to give our customers back, be it in terms of the product design, be it in terms of the club amenities, be it in terms of where this is going with the wellness space, be it in terms of how we want to host our guests. Is it that we want people to come out to our flats, we want people to our clubs? When we go to our friends in Camellias, people don't call us to the flats. They call us to the club areas, and they have private dedicated dining rooms and all. And that is a kind of lifestyle which is probably a top 1% of the country is right now looking into. And everybody else is aspiring. So how are we able to increase it every day? And how are we able to deliver that kind of lifestyle is what we're trying to work on.
Great, thank you. Thank you for those insights. Coming to Mr. Tyagi, the biggest differentiator when I look at the luxury market today versus what it was 10 years back. 10 years back, you had, some of the names are mentioned here on the screen, the likes of DLF and Godrej and Hiranandani and down south, Shobha, etc., who were dabbling in luxury because they had that experience, right? Now we have a number of players. Some of them have not delivered luxury in the past. I hope they understand that this is a target catchment that has deep pockets, but at the same time, are very tough to satisfy, right? Coming from you and your background, is it easy for smaller players to now enter this market? Is the market conducive enough to absorb more players?
So the thing is actually market is इस समय ऐसा है कि market खुद इस समय luxury चाह रहा है. जो हमने पिछले 5-10 सालों में देखा, स्पेशली पोस्ट कोविड जो देखा, कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट इज़ लग्जरी नाउ. और जो आपका क्वेश्चन है कि भाई बैकग्राउंड चेक करने के लिए, तो मेरा मानना ये है कि एक तो बैकग्राउंड ऑब्वियसली थोड़ा सा होना चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए डेवलपर को कि थोड़ा सा उसने काम अच्छा किया हो और ईयर बाय ईयर, प्रोजेक्ट बाय प्रोजेक्ट उसने अच्छा काम किया हो. तो लग्जरी ऑब्वियसली मार्केट के लिए समय आई थिंक जो मार्केट में जो डिमांड है वो लग्जरी की काफ़ी अच्छी है. तो दैट्स व्हाई डेवलपर आर कमिंग विद इट. एंड एक कॉन्फिडेंस देना, वो जो ब्रांड क्रेडिबिलिटी देना, वो काफ़ी एक डेवलपर के लिए एक मतलब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. वो दिखाना, अपना बैकग्राउंड दिखाना मार्केट में कि येस वी कैन डिलीवर द दिस लग्जरी प्रोजेक्ट दैट पीपल आर इन्वेस्टिंग. एंड आई थिंक दिस इज इट.
Thank you, thank you.
That's my team.
No, of course I could sort of sense. I mean, we'll keep the conversation lighter over, okay? Yeah, we've had 2 very tough sessions. Just, shifting the gears, Deepak, you are a transaction specialist out there. You talk to the buyers, you look at their aspirations, and I'm sure you've also dealt with buyers of luxury and even ultra luxury segment. How are their aspirations changing? What are they thinking? Just your thoughts, please.
So, as per my understanding and what I have seen in last couple of years, and the customers who are looking for the luxury, they are looking for the quality of life. They are looking for the modern amenities, as Mr. Goel rightly mentioned. They are looking for the high-end specification. They are looking for the construction technology. They are also I'm sorry. So last, I have seen in last 3 years the luxury demand in market. What customers are looking for? They are looking for the quality of construction. They are looking for the high-end amenities, modern amenities, high-end specification, and they want to live with the like-minded people. They don't want to live with the average people. They want to live with the like-minded person. Luxury demand, boost is in a boost, and it will keep growing in couple of years also.
Can I add something? So एक चीज़ और देखी हमने कि आफ्टर पोजीशन जो आपका वहाँ पे पोस्ट पोजीशन जो वहाँ पे मैनेजमेंट है, इट ऑल्सो अफेक्ट्स अ लॉट कि आप कैसे वहाँ पे मैनेज कर रहे हैं. नाउ डेज एवरी डेवलपर इज कमिंग, दे आर टेकिंग सर्विसेज लाइक cbre या colliers और JLL. तो ऐसे लोगों की हेल्प लेके वो जो पोस्ट पोजीशन जो वहाँ पे एक उनको चाहिए, सर्विसेज चाहिए रेजिडेंट्स को, ऑल दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स ऑल्सो एड ऑन द लग्जरी. एंड ये चीज़ हमने देखी है पिछले कुछ टाइम में कि लोगों को उस चीज़ की अहमियत पता लग गई है कि इन सब एक्चुअली क्या है. जो मेरे को लगता है NCR का, नॉर्थ इंडिया का लग्जरी मार्केट बहुत यंग है कंपेयर टू अगर हम करें मुंबई में या फिर बेंगलोर वगैरह में. यहाँ पे काफ़ी यंग हमारा लग्जरी मार्केट है. अब वो लोगों को रहना, अभी तो उन्होंने शुरू किया था रहना सोसाइटीज़ में, अब उनको एड ऑन जो चाहिए वो उसकी पता लग गया कि क्या चाहिए हमें. आई थिंक दैट एड्स ऑन लग्जरी प्लस द स्पेस, जो अपना फ्लैट की स्पेसेस है, इन दी एंड वो बहुत मैटर करती है कि आप कैसा लेआउट बना रहे हैं. मेरे ख्याल से काफ़ी चीज़ ऐड ऑन करती है लग्जरी में.
So adding this, कस्टमर पूरा इकोसिस्टम देखता है कि सोसाइटी के अंदर आप क्या यूनिक बना के दे रहे हैं. आपके क्लब में क्या स्पेशल एम्यूनिटीज़ है. आप अगर फ्लैट में कुछ फिनिशिंग कर रहे हैं तो क्या स्पेशल फिनिशिंग आप दे रहे हैं. आप अगर मॉडुलर किचन दे रहे हैं तो क्या यूज़ कर रहे हैं. आपके फ्लोर पे टाइल्स है या मार्बल्स है, वो सब चेक कर रहे हैं. कस्टमर सोसाइटी के अंदर कंप्लीट इकोसिस्टम, ओपन एरिया, पार्किंग स्पेस, वेलनेस थीम, सब कुछ देखते हैं. तो लग्जरी डिमांड है और कस्टमर जैसे आपने मेंशन किया कि यंग है. येस, NCR में अगर स्पेशली हम नोएडा की बात करें तो लग्जरी में लोगों ने भी रहना स्टार्ट किया है. गोइंग फॉरवर्ड नोएडा लग्जरी मार्केट बूम और करेगा.
Sure, thank you, sir. I just had a very interesting question on land premiums and construction costs. Now, one of the reasons why developer participation seems to have moved away from affordable housing is because input prices have gone through the roof. Right? Land prices have surged anywhere from 50% to more than 300% in the last 5-6 years. Your construction costs is going up by 3 to 5% every year. Your labor costs is going up by at least 6 to 8% every year. Now, with that sort of a scenario, if the government puts an upper ceiling, that doesn't really work for builders, right? So one of the reasons why sales have dropped, besides of course rising interest rates, was also that builders were also not very interested in moving to the maybe the lower mid end or the affordable housing segment. But even though the premiums are very high in luxury, what would you say? How are developers accommodating this rising land and construction costs in the luxury segment? Because they have to remain profitable, they have to maintain very high construction costs so that they're able to satisfy the customer group.
Very interesting, thank you. See, the thing is, you said the construction cost is going to the shooting the roof. But let me tell you, it is just shooting the first floor. It has to shoot second, third, fourth also in time to come. The way things are going up, if you see my country has traveled around 68, 67 years with 2 trillion economy. In last few years, it has traveled 2 to 4 trillion USD. And next 5 years, it is traveling to 6 trillion. So the changeover is in last 10 years is very, very fast. So whatever was 4,000 rupees has to go 8,000 rupees. Everybody's income is rising, whole world is falling down, and India's GDP is growing 6.6, 6.7, something like at the moment, and is continuing to grow for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So in such a beautiful scenario, what happens, if you compare Manhattan luxury apartment prices, which are currently $4,500 US per square feet, $4,500 US per square feet.
So you want us to go there?
Best price in Gurgaon is around $1,000 only. Only $1,000 per square feet at the moment. And Noida, possibly nobody is touching 1,000, 700, 500. It is maximum around $270, $80 at the moment. So it has to go to $1,000 in next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Then $1,000 to $2,000 because by that time we'll be third largest in the world. So you have to see the holistic. My construction cost in future will go to 12,000 plus. Has to. So my country is getting enriched. Let's clap for it, everybody. Prices has to go up. And income are going leaps and bounds up for everyone because my country manufacturing is rising, GDP is rising. So let's welcome this step instead of selling it is happening, it's happening. And the way everything is increasing, everybody will get upgraded like we upgraded in shoe from 1,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees now. Cars we have upgraded, office we are upgrading, so clothing we have upgraded, everything. So housing has to be upgraded. Nothing new about this. So this is a natural process. Let's welcome this, get acquainted. More and more beautiful home, more and more luxury home, more and more wellness home, weirdly deep-rooted, peace-oriented home, exotic homes, new word will evolve. But good housing will come, good clubs are coming, good designers are coming, because you see the world, we follow the Western world, which is around $4,500 to $5,000 at the moment. So we have to see the whole world as a unified one, then the India is rising country. So this is the fact. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very fresh perspective. It's very important for us to be proud of our achievements and not keep on, in a very socialist manner, be feeling guilty. But coming to the market situation, Mr. Chowdhury, just wanted to understand, while there's been phenomenal growth for sure, Are you seeing some red flags? Are there markets where developers are going overboard, or you still see relevant and enough luxury inventory coming to the market?
First of all, thank you for having me at this session. It's a privilege and a proud honor to be part of R&M Podium and of course to be part of your panel, Abhinav. To answer your question, let me give you an out-of-the-box perspective. Less than a decade ago, we were all talking about affordable, and the entire industry, including the housing ministry, we were trying to, or making efforts and endeavors to classify affordable housing just by the price bracket or the budget. Similarly now, in a world disrupted by the pandemic, post-pandemic era, we are again trying to classify luxury or super luxury or ultra luxury, all the expletive adjectives put together, again in a price range. As Mr. Salil rightly said, everything has to go up because the country is progressing, aspirations are going up, incomes are going up, and we look forward to that day when India will also be selling $4,500 per square feet homes. We need to understand, is there a need to recalibrate the budget first? To answer, coming to your question, Abhinav, there is definitely a demand for luxury housing or ultra luxury housing in whatever way one chooses to define it. For the very simple reason, we have India is home to more than 800,000 or 850,000 HNIs, which is likely to double in the next couple of years. And majority of these HNIs, interestingly, are less than 40 years old. The startup founders, industrialists, that's the second generation of entrepreneurs. So pricing, yes, there is a demand for it in certain pockets. In certain areas where luxury is being used or termed very loosely or very lucidly, there could be some red flags, there could be some situation of oversupply building up because it may not commensurate with the product may not commensurate or get aligned with the nearby competition or another similar product, which will lead to some slowness or some disturbance in the sales.
Sure, thank you. Thank you for that. So do you want to add?
I
Yeah,
have
please
one
go.
more point to explain here. Because like we have seen most of the people say that after the COVID, the demand for luxury has gone up. So I will need a correction. I want to make a correction here. After COVID, thanks to my country leadership, that income of everyone, whole country, income has gone up. Because जब पैसा होगा तभी तो बड़ा घर खरीदोगे भाई. सबकी इनकम इतनी बढ़ी, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इतनी आई, रेबल टूरिज्म बढ़ा, रेबल बाइंग बढ़ी, हमारे यहाँ तो सबको बहुत अच्छी मनी जनरेशन कंट्री में मिली. कंट्री में जनरेशन मिली तो हमारे पास पैसा आया, हमारे पुराने घर दुगने हो गए, तो हम अब दुगना लगा के और बड़ा दुगना घर ले रहे हैं.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Adding one more thing, Indians who are living outside India, they are also investing in India. In a simple way, we can say NRI investment is increasing on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. So before the COVID, the NRI investment was close to 2%, and nowadays it's close to 10%. So जो इंडिया से बाहर इंडियंस रह रहे हैं वो भी लग्जरी हाउसिंग में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं, and it will keep increasing on a monthly or yearly basis.
That's a very, teams are very excited. Just wanted to raise a very important point, okay, on that. The last 6 to 9 months have been very interesting for all of us, right? We've seen everything all together. You have economic uncertainty, you have a very amusing US president who's issuing statements impacting the equity market every now and then. You have a full-blown trade-related conflict happening around the world. Geopolitical conflicts. We fought a short war with our neighbor a couple of weeks back. We say that luxury as a sector can take care of itself. And this is for you and for others as well. Are you seeing any impact? Is there any fatigue? In the last 6-9 months, with all these factors coming together, and the only thing we now need is a pandemic to top it all. Is the sector still completely insulated from external disruptions?
So, as far as India is concerned, there will not any effect because the economy is growing, as Mr. Salil rightly mentioned. Our economy is still growing with the 6.2 to 6.5. That will keep growing for next couple of years also. So there will not be any effect.
I'll just add on to it. So clearly with the India-Pakistan situation happening around those 2 weeks, we did see a dip in consumption throughout. So across our retail portfolio, we did see lesser footfall, lesser people spending money on. During our sales velocity across all the places we work at, we did see a little dip, but only for those 2 weeks. There was a robust, immediate rebound on that, as in when we got to know that everything is fine and it's going to be fine. Of course, during that, sentiment is like that why would you want to invest in something? What if a war breaks out? You would want to save. The tendency of saving comes into picture, but I think that was also just for a few weeks. That's about it. So India is absolutely a robust economy, and maybe if it was some other country, it probably the impact would have been longer, maybe a month or so, maybe a couple of months. But for us, it was just for a week, and it was amazing to see the complete rebound.
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
I'll just add on to it, Abhinav. In kind of such disruptions, whether luxury real estate remains insulated or not, residential real estate definitely remains insulated. It is my firm belief. I've like to mention here is, we have seen during the last pandemic, every other asset or investment option has seen significant to very significant wealth erosion during the course of the disruption. It was only real estate which had stood the test of time like a rock. And that is what is probably encouraging people to look for more functional homes. I'll not say larger. Of course, larger, there is a need for it. The need is growing. Our numbers show it. But the larger homes does not necessarily mean always have to be a luxury home. But yes, it is a more functional home that people are looking at. So that's why I say is, in terms of any disruption, the demand for housing real estate is likely to remain.
That's an important point, because especially if stocks and mutual funds, they remain volatile because of the external situation, I personally feel there'll be more deployment happening towards luxury. We've all seen how gold has performed in the last 1 year. And today I was reading a very interesting headline from Economic Times, which said house is the new gold. It had some of the most amazing transactions that have taken place in Worli and Tardeo in Bombay, where the per square foot price has gone up to about 2,80,000 rupees. Of course, those are ultra HNIs and owners of corporations, but at least it gives you a benchmark how the market is feeling. Coming to the point of tier 2 cities, that is a very important point. In fact, I was coming to that. It's again a common question to everyone. When you look at cities like Goa, you look at cities like Chandigarh, and there are names like Dehradun and Alibag, etc. These are cities where some of the larger developers also venture into, but then they have their fair share of local developers. They have their own target catchments, local business communities, they have high disposable incomes, etc. What sort of sentiments are we seeing when it comes to luxury in tier 2 cities, especially when it comes to the buyer appetite? How is that different from tier 1 cities? Anyone can take this one.
Yes. So tier 2 and tier 3 is equally very important and very rising silver line, you can always see through. Because, like I says, many people who are accustomed of living there, they're of course Gen Z, they leave the place, go to metros or go to abroad. But now the business at these cities are also flourishing very good because of overall GDP growth, and various different industries are by set up as per the even many ITs have a now setting up in Dehradun, Lucknow, Kanpur, Indore. They have almost 20% of their business they are setting up in tier 2s also. So that business is going leaps and bounds. Similarly, if you see in fact a city like Gorakhpur, 2 years back, a good housing was being sold at 8,000 rupees per square feet, which was higher than the Noida extension or Greater Noida 2 years back. So that is the number coming. Kanpur is very good number is coming. Similarly, Indore, very good numbers are coming. So people are rising, and everywhere there are a certain segment or islands are coming where new Agra, new Kanpur, new Gorakhpur kind of developments are coming up because everybody wants to upgrade. That is how things are happening. Thank you.
So the main reason is the infrastructure development is happening everywhere, either the metro cities or the tier 2 or tier 3. And because of the infrastructure, the connectivity is becoming more and more smooth. The metro development is there, the railway connectivity is there, the airport connectivity is there. So once the infrastructure is happening, there will be increase of real estate market.
I'll just add
I
on
think-
to it. Sorry, sure, you can take it. I'll just add on to it. The bitter truth is that tier 2, tier 3 are not comparable to what we've seen in terms of all the metros. If you compare a basic difference right now in Gurgaon, the highest selling is around 1 lakh rupees per square feet. Right. Noida is not even 1/4 right now. And Noida is not as far away as a tier 2 or tier 3 city from Delhi. So the hard fact is that yes, people's aspirations have increased. People are traveling the world from tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. So they want what is being offered at 1 lakh rupees per square feet as well. But it's a big challenge as operators to provide that at the cost which is feasible and affordable by them. So we need to really understand that sentiment and develop things accordingly. Having said that, the luxury, if you define in a place, let's say like Chandigarh, the pricing is probably at around 10 to 12,000 rupees per square feet, which is still far lower than Noida. You need to have that, I would say, appetite, holding capacity to be able to build luxury really. You don't have to come for a project today and sell it off within 6 months to a year's time and get done with it. North India is at least looking up to. So similarly, tier 2, tier 3 cities, be it national players, be it local players, if you really have to build a product that the people appreciate of tier 2, tier 3 cities, there has to be great sensitivity towards the lifestyle choices they want. There has to be a very localized approach to it. I have seen Jain communities making amazing developments in Ludhiana. Very, very small community, they really want to just live together. And the pricing has gone suddenly up because there is no place else that you can afford to buy something like that. So it's a very different approach, and it cannot be put into one basket of looking at it. You have to have that very local flavor to it. While maintaining, of course, the budget constraints, because the pricing cannot go up to 1 lakh rupees per square feet, at least in the next 5 to 10 years. I don't see that happening in any of the tier 2 to tier 3 cities.
I would like to add that we should know what that is exactly definition of luxury. किसी के लिए क्या है, किसी के लिए कुछ और है. Tier 2 cities में अगर आप यहाँ का normal भी देंगे तो उनको शायद उनको luxury लगे. And तो I think location also plays a very big role. Last week मुंबई में I think India का सबसे costliest apartment गया है, 650 CR है, if I'm not wrong. तो वही सेम चीज़ आप सेम तरह की चीज़ अगर आप देहरादून में दोगे ऑब्वियसली वो वाली चीज़ तो नहीं, वो वाला प्राइस तो नहीं मिलेगा ना. तो लग्जरी की डेफिनेशन किसके लिए क्या है, क्या वो देख रहा है लग्जरी क्या है, तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑल्सो आई थिंक.
Just to add to it, again, a slight difference of opinion with due respect to both my developer partners, panelists. See, luxury is not always defined by a price. It is the exclusivity or the exclusiveness or the flexibility to customize several other things which are actually non-negotiable. All these things, when they come together, then probably it becomes luxury. Maybe that is one way of looking at it, apart from the pricing. A 1 lakh rupees square feet in Gurgaon today is definitely an example, or a resale of 650 crores. Primary sale going forward in a couple of months, or maybe by beginning next year, we will be seeing in Mumbai, all the redevelopment projects will be anything between 80,000 to 1.5 or 2 lakh rupees a square feet. Whether they'll be considered luxury, but they'll be in masses. In tier 2 cities, of course, there is a demand for luxury. And as Mr. Goel rightly said, you have to be very sensitive to their local requirements, the social and cultural requirements. And to be successful, you need to have that brand value. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to be a national player, but at the same time, even if you are a local player of that particular city, you have that brand value and the trust that you have earned over the years, you will be able to do well.
No, that's a very important point. And, because luxury cannot be defined by just, as you rightly said, price point. It depends on the quality of development also. Depends on, the larger buyer appetite, how you're able to customize. And there's some fabulous examples of local developers who've been able to do it. Now, within luxury, I would like to go further deeper. And, since we are all aspirational, I want to talk about ultra luxury. That's a new segment that's come up. It was always there. Ultra luxury, I would define as something that's 50 crores and above. Luxury typically is 4 crores and above in cities outside NCR and Mumbai, and 6 crores and above for NCR and Mumbai. Do you want to talk about what's happening in that segment? Some amazing transactions we're seeing. How are those buyers looking at what the landscape is? Is there any sort of transition happening there?
So those buyers, the ultra luxury, super luxury, and over luxury, they are looking for some ecosystem, like the environmental ecosystem, the wellness ecosystem, and they want low density product. They don't want very high density product, and they want modern amenities. They don't want to go with, for gym for the outside of the society. They want a society, gym facility within a society campus. They want club with all the, advanced facilities. They don't want to go with out of the society. They want unique experience.
Just 2 more questions. No debate is over these days until and unless we talk about sustainability. And on sustainability, I always end up losing 90% of the audience in the room. But I heard that there were some eco-friendly luxury homes being launched these days. Where are we as far as sustainability premiums are concerned? Are buyers willing to pay a premium? We always talk about that in commercial and retail and some of the other segments where we put it on the corporates that are you willing to pay a rental premium? But since this is supposed to be the most informed, I believe the most educated target catchment also, are they really sensitive about sustainability while they're buying luxury homes? Anyone?
Definitely a very good topic indeed, and there should be a lot of discussion on this. As you rightly said, yes, in the commercial sector, we see there at least green buildings or LEED certified buildings, they have a better occupancy and they also command a rental premium. Maybe because of their nature of occupiers, the corporates or the multinationals, they have to be present in such a place where they are able to reduce their carbon footprint or generate enough carbon credits and be ready for 2030. In terms of residential, you see, we at Anarock, we do this biannual consumer sentiment survey. At least the survey shows that there is a rising trend of people who are willing to moderately extend their budget for sustainable developments. These are again a very small section of respondents who are well aware, they are at least able to realize that a small investment or a small premium is going to be offset in the times to come because of either through the reduced electricity bill or the air conditioning bill or the better quality of life, etc., or the better quality of life not only for them but also for their aging parents or the younger children, those kind of things. It is very difficult to quantify it as of now. Many projects are coming up. We are yet to see how good they will be able to translate the benefits of sustainability.
I think customer point of view say it's a good, self-consciousness ki they are buying luxury and yet they are, contributing to the nature or somehow. If you can explain them ki what ki ye lead platinum rating kya hoti hai, I think so. It's a good thing. Self-consciousness buyer agar ho aisa, agar aap usko aisa educate kare, market ko educate kare, so I think it's a good thing.
We are done with this session. Thank you so much to all our fellow panelists, and thank you so much. Thank you.